So this is a little bit overdue, but it's time for this week's Q&A. I asked over on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. If you're not following me there, be sure to do so you can see when I ask for questions. But you ask questions, let's go ahead and answer them. I got a pretty decent amount of questions on the new iPad Pro, but I thought this one was interesting. What is your wish list for iOS 13? I hope Apple includes new features in the latest iPad Pros. So I am on the same boat. I wish the iPad Pro had some new features because as of now, the new iPad Pro doesn't really do anything different than the old one except for the new hardware. Now I did make a video on the new iPad Pro. If you haven't seen that already, I'll link it here and down below in the description, but check that out. So that kind of gives my opinion on the device. But as for features that I would like to see in iOS 13, I think a big one for me right now is being able to plug in any drive and just kind of access it. That would be great. I would like some maybe refined multitasking. I'm actually okay with how the multitasking works right now, but it can get a little confusing on like how you actually access stuff. And I think that could be refined a little bit. But the biggest thing I want is the ability to like just do more on the home screen. Those icons have so much space in between them that's wasted space that could be used for something else. And since it's kind of mimicking a more desktop-like experience, and I think it does do that pretty well for a lot of cases, I think it needs to just do more on that home screen. I'm hoping we see that. iOS 12 was rumored to have been that update that was gonna give you much more features on the iPad Pro. That didn't happen because they focused more on stability, which I'm okay with because iOS 12 is actually very solid. But hopefully we do see that in iOS 13. Here's an interesting one from Instagram. Which do you think will be the latest fad? Triple camera setups or true bezel-less displays? Now, I think both will probably be a fad if you want to call it that, but I don't think it's a fad at all. I think they are legitimate good features. So the way I think a triple camera setup should work is you have your standard camera, you have a wide angle and a telephoto. I think those are the three. It kind of gives you the whole focal range. And I think if all phones had that, that would be excellent. The main issue I have with 3 camera setups on phones right now is that you have the main camera, which is like very good. It's got great specs. It's got the best aperture. And then when you get to the second and third camera, like they diminish a lot. Like the wide angle camera is usually like 8 megapixels or something like that. Like it's just not as good as what you're getting on the main camera. And you can tell. I want that same like quality camera in each 3. If we can ever get that, there's not a phone that I can think of that does that right now. If we can ever get that, I will be happy. Now as for bezel-less screens, this I can see as being more of a fad because it doesn't really affect like what you're doing on the phone, but it's definitely an interesting look, and I definitely think we're gonna be seeing more and more of this. I'm more interested to see how companies implement things like the camera. This is something that's not very easy to hide, and if you're really trying to get that real bezel-less display, you're gonna have to put it somewhere. The S10 looks like it's gonna be just right, boom, right in the middle of the screen, so I wanna see how companies handle this. It's gonna be interesting. Okay, before we get into the next question, it's time to thank our sponsor, Dollar Shave Club. I've been a subscriber of Dollar Shave Club for a few years now, and you know, we all have our daily grooming routines. I like a shower, I brush my teeth, I do something to my hair so I don't have to wear a hat like I did today, but I bet you didn't know that Dollar Shave Club not only has shaving products, but also all of your grooming products. So toothpaste, body wash, hair products, everything you need to take care of your daily grooming needs and just make you feel your best. Seriously though, I didn't realize before this that they sold pretty much everything that you need. These ones here are my favorites. They're the One Wipe Charlies. Just an easy way to stay fresh and clean. Now Dollar Shave Club is basically giving away their Daily Essentials Starter Set to new members for only $5. This starter set comes with 3 trial size versions of their most popular products that help you stay fresh and clean, along with their executive razor. Now in your first box, you'll receive their shave butter, body wash, and One Wipe Charlie butt wipes. You'll also receive their executive razor, which includes their premium weighty handle and a full cassette of cartridges. And after that box, replacement cartridges are sent for only a few bucks a month. This $5 offer is available at dollarshaveclub.com/MattGonzalez. That's dollarshaveclub.com/MattGonzalez. Thanks so much for watching that, and I also wanted to address sponsorships a little bit. So as I take on more sponsors, I think it's important to address this. I'm not gonna be taking sponsorships that I don't personally believe in and products that I haven't used. So Dollar Shave Club is an example of a product that I actually use and actually like. I have paid for it for over a year now, and I mean, it's something I actually use. So if I take up any other sponsorships in the future, you can be sure that it's a product that I actually use and that I actually like and think it's worth recommending to you. But let's go ahead and get to the next question. Here's one from YouTube asking, what setup do I use for filmmaking? And I actually have done a few upgrades recently, so let me know if you want to see a more detailed look at what I actually use to make videos, what the kind of process is, kind of the behind the scenes. That's something I've been thinking about doing for the last little bit, but let me know if it's something you'd be interested in, because I've got something here, I've got something here, I've got something there, I've got something behind me. I mean, there's a lot that goes into this, so if you want to see, let me know. Here's another interesting one from YouTube. What's your most useful or most used piece of tech that you have gotten in the last year? And I had to think about this one because it's easy to just say your phone or your computer, but I'm gonna leave those aside for now. Now, the more I think about it, the iPad Pro, the new one, even though it just came out not that long ago, I mean, I have used this so much. Like, it's a daily basis thing for me. I use it like when I wake up, I use it when I go to bed, I use it throughout the day. I've used this so much, and I love this thing. I think it's a really great piece of kit. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this, if I was totally being honest, it's probably gonna be my phone, but this is definitely something I absolutely love. Mark over on Twitter asks, what's your next camera of choice? So right now I'm shooting on the Sony a6300, and it's excellent. It has great quality. It produces a great image, and I really like it. It's small. I mean, there's a lot to like about it. Things that suck: battery life, not good. The screen is not good. But for the most part, it is a solid camera. However, I did place an order on a new camera that I wanted to test out, and that's the new Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K. Now, there's really one main reason I put an order in for this, and I'm honestly not sure if I'm gonna keep the camera whenever it ships, which I'll talk about in a second, but the main reason is just that image quality. It's a micro four thirds sensor, which I'm a little iffy on. I used to shoot on a GH4. I didn't love that sensor size, but I think that'll be okay. But mainly the color science and the dynamic range is what I'm really interested in. In a lot of the shoots I do, I'll have like a window behind me, or I'll have kind of something a little brighter in the background. And with the a6300, that gets blown out. But with something like the Blackmagic, you'll be able to get a lot more detail in those. And it just gives it a more, like cinematic look. That's something I want to experiment with. Now, I know the battery life on the Blackmagic is garbage, like complete garbage. You can shoot for like half an hour with it if you're lucky. It doesn't really have great autofocus, which I actually do use a decent amount. So it might not be the perfect camera, but I'm excited to try 4K 60. I'm excited to try the 12-bit color. I mean, there's a lot with it that I think is going to be great, and stuff that's not gonna be good. Although when I ordered it, it's been back ordered for like 3 months now. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get it. Another one on Twitter, if I could build my own dream smartphone, what would it consist of? So I would have iOS 1, which I just prefer, although I would sprinkle in some little things of Android, like I would like to put icons at the bottom of my screen only and not have anything on the top. That would be nice. I want the camera from the Pixel and the iPhone XS to be merged, so I want the hardware from the iPhone. I want most of the software from the iPhone as well. Although for the Pixel, I want night mode, I want the way it handles skin tones and white balance, which I think is better. Merge that together, I think would be great. And then for the rest, it's pretty simple. I just want great hardware that feels good in the hand. I want it to be fast, I want it to be reliable, and I want a big battery that lasts all day. I'm pretty simple to please. I think we'll end on this one. Why is Filipino spaghetti so good? And that I don't have an answer for, but it definitely is. Okay, so that is it for this month's Q&A. If your question didn't get answered, don't worry, we do these all the time, so be sure to follow me over on Instagram, Twitter, here on YouTube, so you can see when I ask for new questions, and you might get them answered in the next episode. Although, I will say, you could just ask me a question, and there's a pretty good chance that I'll just answer it, so be sure to hit me up whenever you need. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. A lot of cool content coming up, so I appreciate all of the support. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Again, my name is Matt, and I'll see you next time. See ya.